Welcome to my channel. Today's a new day, and we're going to do music today. But first, I have something I want to show you. For those of you who don't live in the United States, you may not even know who Charlie Kirk was. But Charlie Kirk was a Christian who was contending for truth, and he was shot and killed today. And normally I don't talk about politics on my channel, and I have no intention of talking about politics with regard to Charlie. I'm not interested in his politics at all. I'm interested in the spiritual aspect of what happened. And so I want to show you a video. It's 11 minutes long. It's by Cahn. If you don't know Cahn, Jonathan is a Christian rabbi. Yeah, I know that sounds like a contradiction in terms. He is a descendant of Aaron in the priesthood of the Jews, but he's a born-again believer, and he has ministry. He writes books. I'm currently reading his latest book, Avatar, which is about this subject. And I don't, I want you to understand my channel, what my channel is about. I'm about music reactions. But I am a Christian, and so I talk about my faith, and I pray for you with every video. But I don't, I'm not trying to proselytize people. I'm not trying to convince you of anything. If I just say or do something that causes you to believe, then that's wonderful. But I'm not asking you to do that. I'm not trying to force you to do it or convince you to do it. I'm just showing you what it looks like to be a Christian man in modern society. That's all I'm doing. Okay? So normally I wouldn't even show a video like this, but I think this is important because it speaks to the underlying issue that's behind what took place today. And it's something that you need to be aware of. It's the spiritual realm. And if you don't realize that everything that happens in the entire history of the world is all wrapped up in a spiritual cocoon, let's say. You see the physical realm. You see men and women. You see cars and trucks and buildings and all this. And often we don't see the spiritual realm, but it's there all the time. It's like a parallel universe. And there is a huge battle going on, always has been, in that universe. And the battle is for the souls of human beings. And it's fought in the physical realm, but it's fought from a spiritual aspect, if that makes any sense. Jonathan can explain it much better than I, and so I'm gonna show his video. I want you to listen to it. I ask you to please be respectful, listen to it, and pay attention to what he says. If you don't believe it, that's fine. But if you do, then perhaps it will help strengthen your walk.
This is Jonathan Cahn, and I just heard that Charlie Kirk was shot. I'm sure you've heard it, and by the time you get this video, you'll know more about his condition. Before anything, if you haven't already, be praying for him, or depending on the condition, pray for his family and for America. I didn't want to wait, so I'm just doing this with my cell phone. I was on Charlie's show. He was gracious in every way. He was, and actually, when I was on, he had me on because he wanted to speak about the return of the gods, or the spirits, which is what I want to talk about here. And the enemy and the warfare. And the thing is, 24 hours before this happened, I was led to put up on the web a prophetic post called the demonic secret of the Minnesota shooter. What does this have to do with this? Well, Charlie Kirk, according to an eyewitness there, said that he got on the stage and he started speaking. He was given a question that was the witness said it was religious, so linked to God. He said then he was given a question that had to do with shooting, had to do with the shooter really springing from the event of the Minnesota shooter, the event that came up, and the issue of gender and the shootings, and then he was shot. That according to the witness. Now that's just what I put up on the web, and for those who didn't see it, this is what the thing is that first of all, there is a real warfare going on. There is behind all these events, behind political events, behind the news, there's a whole nother realm, and if you don't realize what is going on, you're not going to be able to deal with it or fight with it or effectively. And actually, this is really what when I was with Charlie or on the show, that's what he wanted to speak about. And now he has been shot, and this is real. And the thing is, what we just posted with this, the demonic secret Minnesota shooter, is from what just happened, and not only that, other things, there is a real demonic realm. It is not just a physical realm. And when you pull away the veil, and the shooter in Minnesota, which is really what would have led to that question, that shooter had a picture of Jesus in a bullseye, in the scope of a gun, in the crosshairs of a gun. In other words, to fire Jesus. Who would put that up? Well, a demonic being would put that up. The enemy was that, and the shooter had a drawing of a demon, and he was him with ammunition strapped to his body, talking in a conversation with a demon, a demonic spirit, and it's in the mirror. So it's as if the demonic spirit is him or is in him, as in possessed. And the thing is, he went against a church school in the midst of prayer, and the children in prayer, again, to kill children and in prayer. Talk about demonic. And it's not the only one, because a while back there was another famous shooting. It was the Nashville shooting, and the Nashville shooter also was the issue of gender in it. There were all these similarities, and the Nashville shooter was seeking to shoot and kill children in a Christian school. And I shared there's an issue with that, with demonic spirits and children, and of course having the enemy being anything related to God or Jesus. That's what the Bible records. And there are all sorts of similarities from what the Bible speaks about of people who are possessed or demonized with these two shooters. And the thing is that what I shared, this is something that nobody could have put together, nobody could have orchestrated except in another realm. And that is that in the Bible it says that the mark or the number of the enemy is 666. 666. And the shooter in Nashville killed 6 people, divided up in groups of 3, as 6 is 6, but it ranged in 3. And the adults, the 3 adults, the ages were 60, 60, and 61. Each with 6 in their age, a total of 3666. The enemy inverts things, turns things upside down. The number of children who were killed was 9. Their ages were 9, 9, and 9. That's the inversion. Turn it upside down is 666. In Minnesota, the most accurate reports is that the number that were injured were 18 people. 18 is the sum or total of 666. And there were 2 who were killed. The ages were 10 and 8, which is 18, which is 666, the total of it. Nobody could have put that together. Now the thing is this, listen, this is real. It's not ultimately a political war, it's not ultimately a cultural war. It's all part of it. It touches everything. But it is ultimately a spiritual realm. We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against spiritual forces. And that is a real thing, what the Bible says. In fact, we were led to put that video up, but also At the same time, what just came out is what I just released is the Avatar, which is the book that it's revealing really the same, that behind everything there's a whole nother realm. Even behind things like our elections, even behind things like the assassination attempt on Trump, and what we are involved with, it's a whole nother realm. It's a whole nother thing. And the thing is, we've got to take this seriously. The Bible says these things are real, and they are real. You know, Charlie Kirk was standing for God. He was a devout, passionate believer and spoke about the things of God. And there are other forces that are opposed to that in every way. And so the Bible says these things they're real. Demonic spirits are real. People who are under the influence of that are real. The angels are real. God is real. The Spirit is real. And we are in warfare. And the good news is that God is stronger. And if you don't know God, if you're not born again, you got to get on the right side, because these forces are against you and your life. We are in a battle, no matter who you are. You may not realize it, and the only answer is Jesus. And so there'll be more, but for now, listen, we got to pray and we got to stand. The Bible says, put on the helmet of salvation, the breastplate of righteousness, lift up the sword of faith, sword of the Spirit, and the shield of faith, and more, and fight the good fight. We have a fight to fight in the Lord, and we know by Him we win. In the end, good does prevail. So, and we got to pray for the revival in America, salvation, for God to have His way, because that's the only hope of this nation is God. And so, until next time, this is Jonathan Cahn saying, be strong in the Lord and in the power of His might. Shalom.
That was Jonathan's message. I'm not going to run his advertising or whatever it was that was coming up next, because it's not part of his message. But I just want you to understand that when you see things like this taking place in the world, there is a lot more to it than what you see with your eyes. And this is another example of it. When people die, many times there's devil spirits involved. And I know some of you laugh at that and you say, yeah, devils, that's a figment of your imagination. No, it's not. And the sooner you realize that, the sooner you'll be on better footing. But if you're a praying person, pray for Charlie Kirk's wife and for his kids, because they're without a father now. And pray for the world, because Satan is at work worldwide trying to destroy any hope that might be left. That's my message to you. Now I'm going to do videos. You'll excuse me if I'm not laughing a lot. This is the Vietnam era vet, out.